you know, our world is full of all kinds of change. So this has kind of helped us, you know, change with our world in a great degree. So we've got some videos that essentially go into each of the areas I'm going to discuss. So the videos will ideally kick off what we're going to discuss following that.
You remember the first time?
Do you remember the first time you played a round of golf and kept score?
Then the satisfaction of submitting your score.
And then doing it again and again.
Eventually turning in enough scores to get your handicap.
I remember those feelings.
And the excitement of seeing that number next to my name.
Wow, was that a great feeling.
Denise, what'd you get?
I had a card.
Nice.
Whether you play all the time,
just a weekend golfer,
or even someone new to the game.
Everyone who plays can establish a handicap.
And realize the same benefits.
Tracking their progress.
Sharing a fair game with family and friends.
And most of all, having fun.
At four net 3.
And now we want to make all those things easier
And more accessible for everyone.
With the World Handicap System.
The World Handicap System.
Golf has been evolving and modernizing.
And now the major handicap systems in the world
are coming together
into one unified system.
No matter your skill level,
And wherever you play.
The system has been designed for all golfers.
By providing a consistent measure of your ability.
And to encourage everyone to get a handicap.
regardless of ability,
age, gender,
or nationality.
We all have a part to play in making this a success.
So let's get ready for it.
By learning what the new system is all about.
Get out there, have some fun.
Play with the family, your friends.
Or anyone that wants to have a game. And make sure when you finish playing,
Post your scores.
So what I didn't know prior to starting my discovery of the World Handicap System is that the number of golfers in the United States is only about 1/10 of the population of golfers in the world. So in trying to bring everything together for a lot of purposes, they have taken what you essentially see as 6 different organizations, Africa, Argentina, Golf Australia, where we've taken a number of things from into this, European Golf Union, which is all the way up in here, Congo, which is actually Great Britain, and Scotland, Ireland, and some of the smaller countries around the Mediterranean. So, and then obviously the USGA, which is in the vast majority of the world, but there are 6 different systems. So they have essentially worked to put everything into one group. So clearly, starting in 1/1 in the United States and in different parts of the world, different times throughout the year, everybody is transitioning to the World Handicap System. So from a governance standpoint, I think it's important that you realize that the R&A was never involved in handicapping at all. They were essentially only involved in rules of golf, rules of amateur status, and equipment rules. So this adding of the World Handicap System falls into the governance of the 2 worldwide organizations. So essentially the World Handicap System falls in line underneath the R&A and the USGA governance. So as we look at it, how we get to you, the player, or the golf facility, the R&A are essentially the joint governing authorities, and then they get pushed to the national associations. In the United States, obviously, it's the USGA. But you've got Golf Federation of Mexico, Golf Canada in North America, and so then they push it down to the allied golf associations, and obviously different parts of the world have different allied association dynamics. Basically, it always comes back to the golf club and the handicap committee, which has the vast majority of the authority to do everything that we're talking about, and then down to the player. And we have to realize, just like with the rules of golf, thank God, I'm not Patrick Reed today, by the way, attempts to make the best score possible at each hole and submits scores for handicap purposes as soon as possible. That is what the underlying importance to our handicap system, whether it be the World Handicap System or the old handicap system. You got to try hard, you got to do the right thing. Just like rules of golf, it's got to try hard and do the right thing. So our purpose today is to help you understand this and push it forward to your constituents, whatever they may be. There's all kinds of resources, thankfully, in this day and age. All the videos that you're going to see today are on YouTube through our MVGA World Handicap System micro pages, you might say. Calculations, key definitions, minute slides, PDF changes, playing handicap percentages, and then obviously a PDF of the manual for the World Handicapping System is also there. So distribute that however you feel. You can grab it right off of MVGA-WHS. I hope I made it easy enough for most of you to find what you need, but this is great stuff for your club newsletter or whatever your communication cycles would be. As far as publications, Rules of Handicapping, this book right here, I have 3 advanced copies, and we will get you the future copies when they're available this next week, hopefully by the end of the year, but I'm not going to hold my breath because that's a USJ dynamic. So then there's also going to be a committee guide as far as the PDF itself is concerned, and we'll share that with all of you. And then the course rating guide, which is the underlying cause of why we're here, or what the handicap systems are like. And then there will be basically a reference guide for players, which is not dissimilar from the player's guide for rules of golf. The rules of handicapping are set up very similar to the rules of golf. There's 7 different rules. There's appendixes for further information and details. And so if you can't find it or you don't know the answer, this is where you would start if you don't reach out to someone like me or your club professional or whatever the case may be.
What will the World Handicap System mean for you, the player? It all starts with a measure of your golfing ability, calculated the same way for every player around the world. A handicap index that you can take with you anywhere and use at whatever course you're playing. Before your round, decide which tees you're going to play from, which can be different for each member of your group. Every set of tees will have a course and slope rating based on course difficulty. These will normally be available on a lookup chart near the first tee or through an app. Next, decide the format of play. This will determine the handicap allowance you will be given. Together, the course rating, slope rating, and handicap allowance convert your handicap index into a playing handicap, representing the number of strokes you receive for the round, providing you the best opportunity of doing well, whoever you're playing. Some formats of play aren't suitable for submitting a score for handicap purposes. If you're playing a round and would like to submit your score, you may need to check the procedures before you play. If you're ever in doubt about the rules and procedures relating to handicapping, check with the club where you're playing. During the round itself, go out and play, enjoying the game as you always would. Knowing how many strokes you receive for the round also lets you know the maximum number of strokes that you'll receive on each hole. While one bad hole might mean you don't win the competition, you can still submit an acceptable score for handicap purposes. If the format of play allows, you should pick up when you reach your maximum hole score, keeping your game and the game of everyone else on the course moving along. At the end of your round, add up your score, including any penalty strokes and any applicable adjustments for holes not played or where you didn't hole out. When your score is ready, make sure it's verified as required, then simply submit your score in accordance with club policy. By submitting your score as soon as possible, you ensure all necessary calculations, adjustments and safeguards can be applied, giving you an accurate, up-to-date handicap index ready for the next day or soon after. The more scores you submit, the more accurately your handicap index will reflect your ability. Up-to-date, easy to understand and adaptable. The World Handicap System lets you play the way you always have, as well as giving you a handicap index that will travel anywhere you decide to play.